Hey, so what's up, Nenvy here, and I'm bringing you a jungle Amumu guide for Twisted Treeline. And Amumu fits the role as a tanky AP champion. He's in fact a really slow jungler. He's really bad at counter jungling, so he can't really pressure the enemy out of his jungle. But he does make up for it for his high damage in the late game and his ultimate, which is probably one of the best ultimates in the game, because it does so much damage and it just roots everyone in place. So typically what you want to do with jungle Amumu is just farm up the jungle, try and hit 6 as soon as possible, and just look for counter gank opportunities or ganking opportunities if you want. And just honestly, just hopefully the game doesn't snowball and you hit 6 and you can turn the tides to your favor. So what you want to do is get Tantrum first, as you saw previously, and then get Bandage Toss, just in case you want to gank or have a counter gank. The summoner spells that you run are Smite, obviously, and you want to run Exhaust or Flash, depending on your preference or what your team needs or wants. You can run Exhaust if you want to have some more late game utility and try and win some duels, or you can run Flash to escape early if you're getting invaded on, or to engage late game. So the neat thing about Amumu is that your team isn't forced to run the conventional AD top or AP bottom. Instead, they can run double AD bruiser if they feel like it, because Amumu substitutes the AP role with his high magic damage late game. So right here, Jace gives me a leash to help me increase my clear time, and I start off with Tantrum once again, just to clear these wraiths. So I noticed that the jungler is Wukong, and Wukong isn't the fastest in the jungle, so I'm going to try and race him to the health pack. So what I do is I smite this wolf and try and get level 2 as soon as possible, and then get the health pack. So what I do is I notice that Wukong is in here, and I'm going to try and gank bottom because Kale is in the middle of the lane. I'm going to try and land a Bandage Toss. Sadly, this Kale jukes, and we notice Wukong is here, so I exhaust him, Jace ignites him, and we try to go for the kill. Unfortunately, Jace was exhausted as well, and then Kale blocks the Q from Jace, because otherwise Jace would have probably aimed it straight. But because Kale was standing there, he tried to get the off chance that he would get the AoE from the side. So anyways, now that Wukong has been forced out of his jungle, Renekton is free to go for full aggro on this Tryndamere, and I try and finish off the Tryndamere with the Bandage Toss, but once again, he dodges with another juke. I don't know, people are just dodging my Bandage Tosses all day this game. But now I'm just going to leech some EXP at top, and we're going to counter jungle together, Renekton and I. So we're going to quickly try and get these golems, and Wukong is in here. So we're just trying to deny the enemy jungle, get some counter jungling off. And because of the push at top lane, we are able to get the altar because it's 2v3, and Tryndamere is forced top because the minions are at his turret. So I'm going to go quickly get our altar after counter jungling wolves with Jace. So I'll go get our altar, but I'm going to clear my double golems because I don't want to keep them lying there for forever. So I do get our altar, and I'm going to go try and gank top again. So unfortunately Tryndamere does spin away, but I land the Bandage Toss, but that pops his ghost. So Tryndamere's ghost is down. Alright, so what we do is we push this lane again, because pushing lane is, because the thing with pushing lane is it adds pressure to the enemy jungle. Because of this, I'm able to jungle and counter jungle this Wukong. Wukong does try to duel me, but this just shows how much damage Amumu can dish out. So I'm only level 3, but I'm still able to zone this Wukong out of the jungle. So Renekton and I try to get these double golems. Wukong does make the mistake and tries to go for the double golems, being the greedy bastard monkey he is, and ends up giving first blood. And we are able to roam bottom, and Renekton lands his slice and dice, and then stun for the double kill. This is all a chain of events that are slowly snowballing the game, which you can take advantage of with a Amumu jungle, so you don't have to struggle to that level 6. Because of the level 2 engage we had at bot lane, where we were able to force Wukong out of the jungle extremely early, relieving pressure from top lane, which also allowed us to get the altar. As you can see, Wukong is still only level 4, and this game ended up becoming a stomp. Regardless of how bad jungle Amumu might be, you can still make various plays to help snowball the game, even though you're not even 6. It all depends on how much you can pressure the jungle, pressure the lanes, because since we pressured Wukong out of the jungle really early, it pressured top lane because Wukong couldn't help, and because we pressured top lane so much, top lane was able to roam to help bot lane, and it just ended up becoming a stomp. So that's Amumu jungle. Amumu it's pretty much, he's not as bad as other people. Here's a little tip for most junglers and solo laners for Twisted Treeline. So don't get that solo queue mentality where, oh, all the minions belong to me. Stop taking them, because it's a team game, and plus you get more EXP as a team because you're sharing the minions than if you were to be in a solo lane. Also, if the jungler is struggling and is getting zoned over their jungle, or if they want to try and hit 6 faster, just share your EXP because it's not going to hurt them too much. Like oh yeah, you just gave them half a wave. It's not going to hurt. It's just going to help your jungler get faster and stronger, and giving them a lead against the enemy jungler, which in this case, Amumu needs a tremendous lead, or else he'll start falling off, because if Amumu doesn't hit 6 fast, then the game starts going downhill until he hits 6, because teams can easily snowball against it. So I'm getting my wraiths, trying to hit level 2, and I do realize that top lane does get first blood, and that Nunu is coming for him. So I tell Lee Sin to bait into the bush, and I am going to try and land a banish toss and try and counter gank this. So Lee Sin does go into the bush, I land that easy banish toss, I exhaust him, and then Jace, if you see from the minimap, is coming down from bot lane, and he does land that Q, and he does get the E right before he flashes, so Nunu does get knocked towards the side. And then because of this, Jace and I are just going to go counter jungle some wolves. It's no big deal, we're just going to get some 15 gold each, and I'm going to go try and gank this Cho'Gath. This Cho'Gath is pushing up, so you want to try and land as many ganks as possible and apply as much pressure. So I try and sneak behind this Cho'Gath. I land a banish toss, Jace does land the E, he pushes him to the side, but unfortunately Cho'Gath lands a nice rupture, which disengages the fight. But this is alright, because this forces Cho'Gath to go back, and this allows me to roam into the enemy jungle and do whatever. Because Cho'Gath did go back, we are able to get this altar extremely early, and we pretty much get the double altar for the first minute and a half. Amumu adds so much pressure upon hitting level 6 with his ultimate, because the second he lands a banish toss, and you're out of position, he can easily ult you for a free kill as long as your team follows up. So we see here Jax is getting wolves, and our team sees them. So I land the banish toss, ult, and we do get the kill on Jax. Now that we've killed Jax, it's 2v3, so we can start forcing things, such as turret pushes, their altar if it's up, or Vile Maul because of the extra power play. So Amumu's ult is excellent for locking people in place. So they're going to try and dive this Lee Sin, but Lee Sin does a nice kick, so Kha'Zix does flash in, but I use my ultimate to keep him in place, and we get an easy kill. I run away from the Nunu ult, and I know my team can 2v1 this Nunu easily, so I end up chasing this Cho'Gath. So I know Nunu's dead, I'm just going to keep on trying chasing this Cho'Gath, so this Cho'Gath lands his rupture and flashes. I exhaust, and then it's an easy kill for Jace. So we get the ace, and we can now start pushing. So Amumu's ult is excellent for locking people in place. So they're going to try and dive this Lee Sin, but Lee Sin does a nice kick, so Kha'Zix does flash in, but I use my ultimate to keep him in place, and we get an easy kill. I run away from the Nunu ult, and I know my team can 2v1 this Nunu easily, so I end up chasing this Cho'Gath. So I know Nunu's dead, I'm just going to keep on trying chasing this Cho'Gath, so this Cho'Gath lands his rupture and flashes. I exhaust, and then it's an easy kill for Jace. So we get the ace, and we can now start pushing. So in this clip, we just finished getting Vile Maul, and we are going to try and go end the game. So what I do with Amumu is I use my ultimate to help disengage / peel for my AD carry, which is in this case Jace. So Rengar and Jax jump on my Jace, and Jace does live safe and sound with a sliver of HP, but we are still able to end this game. So typically Amumu's it's pretty much the same as Summoner's Rift. You gotta land your banish tosses, you just ult when you land it, and just keep your enemy in place. Just the thing is that you run exhaust more often than flash, well at least I do for Amumu jungle. And yeah, so I didn't get too many clips of Amumu. I don't really pick Amumu too much. He's more of just like a niche pick, or just a situational pick if we need that Amumu, if I feel Amumu stronger than Jhin in this game, or any other jungler. But Amumu is great for AoE comms, which I didn't have any footage of, because he works well with Zyra. Zyra's a pretty good bot lane. He works well with Diana to help bring everyone closer, and Wukong especially. Wukong and Amumu are pretty much the two main cores for an AoE comp, and Jarvan works nicely as well. So you can mix and mash with the 80 and AP AoEs, and that's Amumu for you. So if you found this helpful, go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more, and hopefully you guys start picking up Amumu jungle, because he's a great jungler. He just has a couple of weaknesses in the early game, but his late game does pay off. Anyways, thanks for watching, and have a great day.